Senior Report thanks Edmund Besch of Bristol Burgess Insurance Agency, 65 East Main Street, Westfield, for his generous grant to provide news to seniors. Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Funding for Senior Report is provided in part by a grant from Andrew Goodell, Assemblyman for the 150th District of the New York State Assembly. Senior Report with Reed Powers thanks Westfield's Schultz Chevy for a generous grant to inform seniors of important news. Over 50 years of service to Westfield by Chevrolet, Schultz Chevy across from the school. The physicians of Jamestown Primary Care are happy to sponsor the Senior Report. From the Access Channel 5 television studio in Mayville, it's Senior Report with Reed Powers. Senior Report is broadcast live throughout northern Chautauqua County on Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. each week. Call in and share a thought, make a comment, ask a question, or simply wish someone a happy birthday on Chautauqua County's only live call-in senior program. Since 1995, Reed has been bringing viewers hundreds of interesting guests, informing the community on a variety of subjects. Here's the host of the show, Reed Powers.
Well, good morning. What a beautiful, beautiful day we have here in Chautauqua County. Sun shining down, it's warm, it's sweet. It's much warmer than the usual autumn. You know, they say there's global warming, though. That may have something to do with it. We're all dead anyway, so I think we'll survive. I have a couple of guests here today who are going to talk about grapes. We're going to just talk about grapes. And specifically, the king of the grapes, these guys. The Concord grape, you know what they are, guys. Who hasn't gone down into a vineyard? And you know, there's a special technique to eating these guys. I'll show you. It's only old farmers know it. You take the grape and you pick it, and then you put it in your mouth and go, and you squeeze the juice out of the skin, and you spit that ugly pulp out. You go through a vineyard in half an hour. All right, enough of that. Teach that to your kids. Only old folks around here know how to eat a grape properly. You don't eat the pulp. They say in the old cesspools when they dug them up that after centuries they dug up old cesspools and took the bottles out of them because the bottles were very valuable. William Seward himself made a elixir, quote, for the kidneys. Well, actually, these were theoretically medicines, but they were just booze. And the gentleman would keep them out in the outhouse up in a corner where they couldn't be seen. And every once in a while, go out to the outhouse and take a sip or two, a wee toke. And eventually, when it was empty, they throw it into the hole. And eventually, these bottles became quite valuable. Some of them were worth a bundle. And once in a while, a kid would go out there at night and drop their doll in with a porcelain doll, or they'd drop a kerosene lamp in or something, one of these brass things, and they're all down there. And there's certain people who spend their time digging old cesspools. After a century or two, they become just soil. And they showed me in my cesspool. They came to my house and dug it one time. And I said, "What do you do for a real living?" They said, "Well, on the weekend we dig cesspools, but I'm a doctor and he's a pharmacist." So they dug down and they showed me what they called the seed layer. And since a lot of people eat the pulp, they get the seeds, and eventually they come out, of course, and they form a certain layer in your cesspool. They have a certain weight. And so they will form this big seed belt across your cesspool, which you never know about unless centuries later you were digging it up. Enough about seeds and grapes. Anyway, the Concord is the king of grapes. And we're going to be talking about Concords, and we'll be talking about the Grape Discovery Center, which is a Concord, it's an incredible showcase for the Concord. And I should say, I should leave out the wine grapes. There are a few wine grapes grown up here. They're fractionally compared, I don't know, what's the percentage, like 2% or something of the grapes?
Yeah,
they have a bunch of people have little wine grapes, wine orchards, and set up and they bottle wine. It's a hobby though; they don't make any money at it. It's just for fun. Most vineyards for wines are just fun things. Big time though, the Concords brings in millions and millions into the state and into this area, and we're of course the heart. In Westfield is the heart of the grape belt. It goes from Erie to Silver Creek. And Westfield's right in the middle of it. And if you go up in the hills, you look down, all you see is vineyards and vineyards and vineyards, millions and millions of acres of vineyards. And all of them are Concords, excepting that one or two here and there. Okay, so Andy Defresne, Mackenzie, Cady, doing the job. They're going to be here to talk. They run the Grape Center. They're quite involved. And I did want to toss in a word for Helen Barron. She was quite active in getting this going, and I invited her, but she unfortunately is doing what most people are doing today, gathering grapes. She's harvesting her grapes. She says, Rita, I just haven't got the time. I'm too busy. And it used to be every kid in the county made money for the summer and the winter and everything by picking grapes. And you had a little shear and you picked them and put them in a box, and you took the boxes in. And they've all been put out of business by a couple of guys in Westfield invented the grape harvester, believe it or not. And later on, it was taken over and made by the big corporations. But the grape harvesters, these big blue things that go rumbling through the vineyards night and day. They have the lights on and everything at night, and they suck the grapes off the vines and put them in a big truck, and away they go over to Welch's or wherever they're going to be ground up, and they grind them up, and then they press them and get millions of tons of juice out of them. And oh, that grape juice is so good. Oh, and the jellies, jams, oh, yeah. And the pies. Helen Barron makes a great pie. It's a big hassle to doing it because you got to fool with the the skins and the pulp and everything. But she says we've got now a container that has all that done for you. You just take and shake it into a pie crust, and you're all set. And they have it for sale over at the Grape Discovery Center. How about that? You can get them for peanuts, less than the grapes. Okay. So Andy, Mackenzie, Cady, I appreciate you dropping by and talking with us for a few minutes, and you'll be on in a minute. Most of my guests don't realize that they never get on, really. I list them in the paper so that people watch the show. Okay, enough said. Lots of things going on TV. Madness. Oh, geez. You know, the Congress is still never getting anything done. Now they're threatening to shut down the whole country and the whole world. Oh, cripe. Griminy. What a mess. Here's one thing they're going to try to make sure that we have is Obamacare. Obamacare, they call sneeringly. Actually, it's the Affordable Health Act or whatever. In the meantime, it does guarantee your insurance, and they can't drop you just because you get sick, and they can't not take you because you're sick, and it's a boon for a lot of people. But the insurance companies will lose a lot of money on it, so they're paying a lot of people a lot of money to oppose it. Oh God, money talks in Washington, doesn't it? It reminds me somehow. These people remind me of the joke Stanley and Walter. They're in their 80s, and Stanley says to Walter, he says, "Walt, do you remember that stuff they used to put in our coffee to keep us from thinking about women?" He says, "Yeah, that was saltpeter." He says, "Well, I think it's beginning to work." Enough said. That's silliness. All right. let's get some good news on here. I got some good news. This is the senior report stuff in the county. You know, we have more senior groups in the county than you shake a stick at. Every town, every village, every township, even the churches, they all have wonderful senior groups, and the senior groups are just dedicated to seniors and wonderful things happening to seniors. And the 28th it is today, and I will say on the 28th we have some good news. First of all, the Grape seniors over in Fredonia, Mason's Hall, they meet, and they have Tai Chi. You know, Tai Chi is really a fun thing. It's slow, and it's a martial art thing. I don't know how they got to you. You know, they were so slow you could probably cut them in half with your sword by the time they got to you. September 20th, go over there if you want to see it at the Grape Seniors. Catherine Pratt. What's that? I just had a caller call in and say, don't laugh at Tai Chi, it's for balance. I'm sorry, sir. Chan Hong Ha Chi Tai Chi. Visiting nurses will be over at the Grape Belts for your shots. Everybody get your flu shots. It might save your life, you don't know. There's controversy about it. It might kill you too. But they say the flu shot is probably a good idea for seniors. They're having a big potluck luncheon over at the Grape Belt Seniors, Wednesday, October 16th, 11:30. Bring your stuff. Everybody bring a dish-pass if you want. You can bring your wares over if you're in a business of some kind. Holy Trinity has a bunch of seniors that meet regularly there. President is Rita Lombardo if you want to meet her. Drop her around. Halloween party. They're having one October 10th at 12:30 p.m. at Bob Evans. I don't know what Bob Evans has to do with Halloween. Spooky place, huh? All right, Dunbar brought an angel food cake with Cool Whip and sliced strawberries. Now, isn't that nice? That's what they say, you're going to get your last meal of Powers and then we're going to knock you off. I'll say, that's what I want. Strawberry pie with Cool Whip and lots of strawberries sliced on it. Oh, yeah. New members are welcome over there at the Holy Trinity crowd. They meet every second Thursday of the month, 12:30 at the Parish Center at Holy Trinity. Sharon Care. They have a board meeting regularly. Secretary over there is Margaret Larson. Says we're doing real well. 50 members attended our picnic, which we just held, and we have a huge group ready to roll on anything else. However, we're going to have to raise the cost of our dinners, $8 now, due to catering costs, increases in food. Like the cat food you'll be eating, seniors, by the time the Congress refuses to give you a decent cola, that's all you'll have left is cat food money. But I'm writing a recipe book for you for cat food. All right, you know, if you take the tuna cat food, which is very cheap, and you rinse it carefully and add a lot of mayonnaise to it, a little salt, it's just delicious. And other things, there are other ways to eat it. They're having a joint trip with Brant Farnham Seniors, December 12th, to see Tony Orlando at the Seneca Niagara Casino. See, also, they're going on a trip to see La Cage aux Folles, October 15th, but it's too late. It's been filled. All right, come on, more stuff here. They say, Reed, you better get moving because you're running out of time. We're not going to give you any more time for the news. Okay, real quick. Let's see here. Honest to Good People, they had a soup buffet. Collins Senior Citizens are out of our service district, so we're not going to waste no time on them. Dunkirk Board, Barbara Badges presided. She said that the doors will be open 8 to 4 p.m. For the Senior Center shortly, and 9 to noon Monday through Friday. 2014 membership sign-up begins November 4th. Dues remain $1 for Dunkirk residents, but $5 for strangers. All others. All right, enough of that. Okay, let's see you're done, Reed. I'm finished. I've got a public service announcement for you, and then we'll hear from Doc. Here you go. This is for you.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Never going to go to your house. I'd be tempted to eat the canapes or something. The hors d'oeuvres. All right, guys, talking about cat food. Here's a guy who always shoots from the hip. Doc Hamels, you're on, Doc.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome, Andy and Mackenzie. I hope you stay for the rest of the show. You've been digressing all over the place today. Boy, oh boy. Hey, folks, I don't know if you saw this in the paper, but you are watching an award-winning show. Hey, Reed, huh?
Yeah.
We will be receiving the Chamber of Commerce from Mayville, the Community Service Award.
For the greatest show on earth.
the only show in Chautauqua County.
That's true.
That's true. The competition was stiff, but we managed to get through it. But anyways, what a great honor, and we thank you and thank the viewers, because we know that you call in, and obviously it's important what we're doing. You know, one of the things that we do here, and Reed often mentions, but we seldom get it, we get a phone call for mentioning somebody's anniversary or birthday. So I'm going to put somebody on the spot. If you know Bill Molson, my father-in-law, his birthday is today. I'm not supposed to say he's 87, so I won't. And
and he's a sweet guy.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy. If he put up with his son-in-laws like me and Artie, he's got to be a great guy.
And he also ran the railroad for years.
Yes, he did, and his father as well. So anyways, but happy birthday, Dad. And I got a great photo. You want to see a great picture?
Let's see it.
Let's bring it up.
Bring it up.
There's my dad of 90 who just met my grandson or his great-grandson last night for the first time. That's Raleigh Hamels and Jack Hamels up in Buffalo. Only 4 generations right there of Hamels. So
Jack was a great go-kart guy.
No, he was a soapbox derby guy.
Soapbox derby.
Yeah, that was the champ. So anyways,
yeah, he
thanks,
invented
guys.
that thing, and he won the first one in the world.
In Buffalo.
Yeah.
You know, we got to work on your your details. All right.
I didn't say where it was. I knew it was
true,
Ohio.
All right. All right, folks, because you're watching this award-winning show, we've got some interesting things coming up. And first of all, I want to mention the fact that we will be airing live some debates. And from what I understand, this will be the first time we've done this here. And on October 12th, ready for this one? Bring it on up. We're going to have Ed Carutis versus Dave Himmeline. They're going to be running for District 18 for county legislature. As you know, Himmeline knocked out Crosscut, our buddy that's been on the show for so many years. But tune in. It's going to be a live show. I'll be moderating the show. Reed, you better call in and raise heck. We're going to be hour and a half, I believe. It's been from 12 noon to about 1:30. So
If I called in, well, I don't know the number.
It's what is the number? It's 753-5225 or 753-JACK. Okay, that's on October 12th. And then on October 19th, the magic of television. It'll show up here in a second. Just there it is. We're going to have Ron Johnson. I got it right this time. I keep calling him the wrong name. And Vince Horrigan. And these two gentlemen, one of them will come out as county executive. And the day after Greg Edwards retires from that position, I believe it's November 15th, last day. Whoever wins automatically starts on November 16th, I found out. So 12 o'clock, we're going to have call-ins, and then our producers are going to take some of the questions from the callers, and then we're going to pose them to the candidates as well. So stay tuned. So October 12th, the legislative race, and then October 19th, the county executive. So we're going to try that out, and I'll be your host those two shows. So that's coming up. You know what we're really doing? Chris and I talked about this, and the rest of the crew. Next year we might have like the Robertson versus Reed, Tom Reed. We got congressmen coming up next year, so maybe we can get them here. And of course, I've already got a confirmation on this, Reed. You'll be excited. We're going to, I think it's like 3 years from now, Hillary has already agreed to come here, and she's going to be talking against 17 Republican candidates. So anyways, we're going to have some live debate here. Real quick, if we can shoot over here, October 19th, we've got the Gold Rush, the Westfield Mayville Rotary Club, $1,000 giveaway. It's $30 a ticket, chicken and rib dinner, all the beer and soft drink you can partake. 6 o'clock at Easton Hall. It's a great opportunity. We'll talk more about that when we get closer. And my 2 cents for today, Reed, is real simple. Okay? I read the paper like everybody else, and the Post-Journal has one of those question of the day kind of thing, and so does the Observer, I believe. And, you know, I've watched folks, whether they're out of the Gebby Foundation or local projects around here, like the Lucille Ball Museum and Desi, I can't remember their name, but anyways, it's a Lucille Ball project down there in Jamestown, the ice arena, and so forth. And you see these people complaining, why are we putting all this money into this, and can't we do this and that? Well, lately, the Grape Discovery Center had some negative comments about it, and I'm going to kind of kick off the discussion here. What's wrong with you people? It's like you've got people that have been working for a long time on a great project to highlight what goes on in this county. Jeff and I were talking back in the engineering booth, and, you know, the farmers in this area have supported college kids, high school kids, single moms, dads, whomever, you know, part-time jobs over the years, hundreds of people. And these people complain because they see this as a tourist trap. Or why are they pouring their money into all this? And what I got to say to you folks, those have complained about the Lucy Festival or the Ice Arena or the Grape Center. What did you do lately? Did you get off the couch? Did you volunteer? Have you helped this county move an iota closer to being more successful? Shame on you. Back to you, Reed.
Yeah, I'll say I have one comment. Up yours.
That's his job. Well, anyways, I can't wait for the show, so welcome, guys.
All right, here we go. We're talking about grapes. We're talking about the Grape Center, the fantastic center that's over in Westfield that John just mentioned. Show us a picture of that, would you, Randy? It's right in Westfield, out on the Route 20, and it's right near there's a vineyard. There's a nursery out there and a vineyard. It's right across from the nursery. You can't miss it, and it's an incredible building, brand new, spanking new, beautiful stuff. Thanking great investment and time and energy by these folks here, and by I want to thank. I guess we can't. Helen Barron was quite active, and she initiated. She and Steve, God bless him, may he rest in peace, were quite involved in this and chunked in some money, and a lot of other people put in some dough. And I want to thank our state senator. She gave us, I don't know, she brought in quite a few bucks.
Over $1 million.
$1 million from the state, yeah. Oh, God, Kathy Young, what a champion she is. And Andy helped out, I think, too. And we have a lot of folks out there doing hard work. I noticed they gave Pete Bill's family a big shout. They must have done a lot of hard work.
Yep.
And,
Very, very good volunteers.
what do you have? Well, first of all, let me get a little background. Where are you from, Mackenzie?
I was born and raised in Westfield, New York. I went to college at SUNY Fredonia, and now I'm living back there, being the manager at the Grape Discovery Center.
You're just like me, except I'm not a manager or anything. I just loaf around and come in here once in a while and shoot off my mouth.
Get us all in trouble.
Yeah. But it's so you're a local gal who's been raised here, and you're probably eating your share of grapes too, I'll bet.
I live on a grape vineyard, so
Okay, and do you sneak out there at night and eat some of the grapes?
I eat them often.
Yeah, they're wonderful. As I said, the trick is to avoid eating all that pulp and seeds. See, if you know how to do it, you spit it out simultaneously when you throw away the skin.
That's where all the antioxidants are.
Oh, sure. You know what
Eat some of the skin, too.
You know what these are? Can you see this, Randy? Look at compare the size of my hand and compare them to these. When the white man first arrived on our shores, there were vines covering everything. They called it Vineland or Vinland. They said Vinland was what they called the New World when they came here, because of all these little grapes. Well, these little grapes are the sourest, bitterest, tasteless garbage you've ever put in your mouth. Don't try to eat them. But these are the original Concord grapes. And some guy named Ephraim Bull, that's no bull, started working on them, and he turned those little grapes into big grapes. Not quite as big as these. They've grown bigger over the years because they've been selectively processing them. And they're just delicious, sweet, wonderful. Have you ever gone by a vineyard in the when it's ripening in the fall? Oh, you drive around by the vineyards today, it's outrageous. Oh, the fragrance that comes off those grapes. We got a couple of calls already. You want to take a call?
Sure.
Well, I want to talk, you know. This is my show. All right. Good morning, caller. Thank you for waiting.
Good morning. Good morning. This beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fall day.
It certainly is.
Enjoy. I do have a question for your guest.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Call back again when you think of it.
I got it. Is this in any way going to do anything economically for our community and help the farmers for, the things that they need help with?
Okay, I'll reply to this. The whole purpose of the Concord Grape Belt Heritage Association, which is a nonprofit organization that was established back in 2004, was to promote the grape industry and the communities of the Grape Belt that very much our 501c3 lists us as an economic development effort. So we, early on, one of the things we did to get information about how important the grape industry is economically to our region, we conducted an economic impact study. This was done by Cornell University and Penn State University, using a lot of the statistical information is available to them, as well as on-site surveys and et cetera. And what they found was that the grape industry, and this is 6-7 years ago, contributed $340 million of economic activity each year to the regional economy. This, of course, our Grape Belt is, as was mentioned earlier, it goes from Erie, Pennsylvania to the other side of Silver Creek. So $340 million of economic activity is very important to the economy of northern Chautauqua County and in this region. In addition, we found at that time there were 1,900 jobs were directly created by the grape industry. So I think we need to support, preserve, and enhance that industry, and anything such as a grape discovery center or the other efforts that we're involved in that help promote the grape industry, the grape communities, is a good stimulus and a good force for the economy of the area, I think. So that's my opinion.
There you go, caller. Does that answer your question?
Well, not exactly. I kind of meant like, okay, I have another question, so I'll go with that. Is there any, I meant like, is this actually creating more jobs here, or is it...
Well, Mackenzie's got a job.
Well, that's true.
Well,
or just more informational to make people more aware of how the grapes are processed and all the work that goes into that and so forth. Yes. But my other question is...
Okay, well, I think, yes, there are a limited amount of jobs created directly in the employment of the Grape Discovery Center. But I think what has to be looked at is the indirect support for the grape industry. We've got, as I said, part of our economy, segment of our economy that's very important in this region. And so if we create jobs in the wineries and the grape processing plants and transportation and other service areas that are indirect, I think this is very important to the economy, and I think having a strong grape industry is important to the economy. It creates jobs indirectly, and we don't want to lose those jobs, so I think it's very important economically for our region.
It brings in a third of $1 billion. I mean, that's nice.
Right.
After all...
Yeah, there you go, caller.
After all, it started right here in Westfield with Mr. Welch. Thank you very much. And
who actually didn't start it here.
For a while, we were...
his son came down here and got it cranking.
Well, right. But for a while, we were known as the grape capital of the world, and Mr. Welch certainly did make his home in Westfield.
Well, he did eventually, and he...
I had one more question.
He created communion wine for the Methodists. It had no... alcohol in it.
Right.
Exactly.
I have one more question.
Go ahead. If you can think of it.
Yeah, I've got it right here. All I have to do is look in my tongue and it'll be there. Is there any admission charge to come to the
Center, yeah.
the center. Yeah.
Nope, it's free and open to the public. You know, we try to attract not only our local communities, but also tourists as well. So that's another kind of area that we're trying to, you know, bring new people into our communities. And
So
those,
we should talk about it to people
Definitely.
that are out of town.
Definitely. We've had people from as far as Belgium
Oh,
that
wow.
have visited. So, you know, tell your friends, and hopefully they come and tell their friends, and that's how we're growing.
Yeah, I have a big crowd there. I was over there last week, and I met someone all the way from Pennsylvania.
Get out.
No, there are an awful lot of people. It was packed.
Yeah.
And some guy made crepes there. What was his name?
Tim Murphy, he owns Brick Village Gourmet.
Well, does he know how to make a crepe? And you got to get those pictures out of the way. They block off about half of you, you know,
Yeah, I
on the
know.
camera. Gotta move
Well,
'em.
well, we do want to. We can't have our visitors here in person, so we did bring a few pictures here, and Mackenzie can kick this one off. This is the entranceway.
Yep, that's actually at our soft opening. You can see around all of us, there's, you know, our welcome
bunch of
area.
them, yeah.
Yep. And my grandma was our first customer.
What you buying?
She bought, it's like a fleece, a USA-made fleece.
A fleece.
Yeah,
What's a fleece?
like a sweatshirt.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Huh.
Do you do anything with the local wineries and so forth?
Yeah, actually, we have almost all of the New York State wineries that we showcase a selection of their wine. And we have a few of the Pennsylvania wineries, and we're growing to have more. It's just with the laws for crossing state lines, it's a bit harder.
Yeah, as usual, New York State particularly has more laws and legislation and controls and requirements and stupid things than you'd never believe.
You'd be surprised, Pennsylvania's pretty strict.
Are they the same? Another picture here. Look at this.
Okay.
This is showing our actual welcome area. When people walk in, this is what catches their eye. We have brochures and different publications over there from Visit Erie and the Chautauqua tour guide. And, you know, people can get information about where to eat, what wineries to visit. And also some of those magazines have coupons and everything. So that's been a pretty popular area for us.
I got some free grape juice.
One of the goals of the center is to help orient and welcome visitors to our area. So you know, we are the largest grape growing region east of the Rocky Mountains. We're the largest Concord grape growing region in the world, and we want to educate and inform visitors about that. And so we want to welcome, and as you saw in the picture, we have a video screen, a screen there, continuously running a couple little videos that explain the grape growing region, its history. We also have a large wall map. It's 10 feet wide by about 4 feet, and the satellite photo of our region, and it really depicts where the grape vineyards are. And so a visitor to our area will get a good orientation of the grape growing vineyards of the area, very impressive. And then we also get into discussion of why we are such a good region for growing grapes.
Yeah,
So it's an orientation session for
Andy,
visitors.
why are we so good here?
Well, there's a couple of factors that I think that are unique. One, we have Lake Erie, you know, and
Okay,
so that's a
warms
big body
us.
of water that helps moderate the climate. And we have the lake plains, and then we have the escarpment to the Allegheny Plateau. And the combination of the lake, which in the spring is keeping the vineyards cool so they don't bud out too soon. And then in the fall, the waters are warm, the breezes coming off in the lake extend the growing season. And the fact that we have the escarpment of the hill of the Allegheny Plateau kind of traps either the cold air or the warm air in that lake plain region. So we have kind of a microclimate in this region that's very conducive to growing the grapes and fruits and vegetables. And so the combination of the large body of water that's Lake Erie, the nice glacial soils that are in the lake plain region, and then the hills to the Allegheny Plateau, which help create that microclimate zone unique climate for growing their fruits and vegetables.
There you go. You don't wanna
Okay,
go-
well, thank you very much.
Right, you don't want to.
Very
Thank you,
informative.
caller, for the call. You don't want to send me a stamped self-addressed box, and I'll send you some grapes. All callers get something. Andy, I wanted to mention the fact that I think Washington grows a bunch of grapes too.
It sure does. Washington, California, a big grape growing
Big
region.
grape.
That's why I said east of the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, right. Because I think Washington takes the cake at this point. They produce an awful lot of Concord grapes.
They're a large grape growing region, yes.
Yeah, and it started out here, of course, with Edgar Welch, who really began the race. We have two guests here who are very knowledgeable. We got Mackenzie, Cady, and I got Andy Defresne. And they're going to talk a little bit again about the grapes, the industry, and of course the Grape Discovery Center, which is an incredible place where you can go and get free grapes, free crepe Suzettes with grape on them. And I don't know, Mackenzie, you got all kinds of wonderful things over there. And I see a lot of products. What do you have there behind that? Sneaked in there behind the picture that keeps blocking you off anyway. What are these?
I brought a few of our products. Actually, Helen sent this for you.
Oh my goodness.
This is grape pie filling.
So Helen Barron created a recipe which is world renowned for grape pie, for Concord grape pie.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of hard work involved. So she said what we did was we put it together in a can so you don't have to do all the hard work. Just drop it into a pie shell and you're all set. And
Exactly.
I'm going to do that today. I didn't realize I'd have this wonderful, thank you,
Yeah.
Helen Barron, who is one of the champion people out here in our county who does a lot of things. She was also the woman of the century or something for the state of New York this year.
Yep.
And she is just terrific, works hard. She is very instrumental in founding the Grape Center, and she raises grapes besides.
She does, a lot of them.
Okay, what do you got there?
I brought some salad dressing from Brick Village Gourmet, and this is Concord grapeseed vinaigrette.
Okay.
It's delicious. I, of course, brought some grape juice, and we also have things that have our logo on them.
Is that the so-called fleece?
No, this is a T-shirt.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, visitors really like to bring something home.
Yeah.
And we also have gorgeous things like this. And these are handmade purses by a woman that's a native to Westfield.
Oh, who's she?
Barbara Wetzel.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah. So, you know, there's kind of something for everyone there.
Oh, boy, isn't that nice? That's a
Yeah.
beautifully engineered piece of material, too. Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah, might go with your outfit.
Well, I don't know. I don't usually carry a big purse. Whenever I'm in Europe, incidentally, I do carry a purse. Most gentlemen there carry, but it's mandatory that it be black and it'll be small, and you can have a shoulder strap on it.
Reed, we call that a man bag,
Okay.
not a purse.
One of the things that the gift shop does is try to support our local food industries and arts and craft people. And so we tend to feature products that are food products that are locally made, arts and craft that are locally made. This is part of the goal of supporting local industry and buy local. And so that's one of the goals of the gift shop in the Grape Discovery Center is to provide an outlet for many of these arts and crafts and local foods that we have here in Chautauqua County.
Okay, great. What else? What else do we have over there now? You've got the juice. You gave me some free juice. I remember I was over there.
There's some more free juice.
Oh my gosh! You know this is wonderful stuff. Growers too. Growers Co-op.
It's really intense grape flavor, which it's
Well, thank
delicious
you.
and good for you.
Well,
so.
that'll be wonderful. I'll have to have that for breakfast.
I think next I wanted to show our tasting room.
Okay, before you do that, we have a phone call. Do you want to take the phone?
Sure.
Or do you want to talk?
No, we can- we'll
Okay,
take
we'll
the
get the
phone.
caller
Sure.
right now. Good morning, caller. Thank you for waiting.
Good morning. I have a question for you guys. I understand that the Star family made a big donation or something like that. Could you tell us about that?
The Star family, you know, they have been involved in juice production and processing for a long time, and Stan is really close with his community, and he gave us a large donation. Do you wanna? Yeah. No. He gave us a large donation, which helped us put in our exhibit room.
And it's a gorgeous room, I might add.
Yeah.
And I'm going to eat another one of these right now. Watch this. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, spit the pulp.
I told you, eat the...
The pulp is bitter. It's horrible. And it's got seeds in it, and you've got to digest those seeds.
It's good for you.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
He's gone.
He's gone.
Fainted from the
See ya.
answer. It's too much.
See ya.
Thanks for the call, caller. Yeah, the answer to the question is yes. You remember the question?
Yeah. I think we answered him okay.
Okay, good.
Well, I wanted to show our gorgeous tasting room, and I think you can see from the picture that both the welcome area and the wine bar are made to look like barrels. So we feature not only wines from around Lake Erie wine country, but we also have grape juice and grape slushies and wine slushies.
Okay, that barrel that you had up there was huge. And they were that size. They had barrels that were gigantic. And I know as you go up the hill in Westfield, and you turn to the right and go through the woods, there is a barrel up there that was made into a house.
Really?
Yeah, they put stairs into it and 2 or 3 different layers of loft, and they live there in one of those barrels. Believe it or not, this is true.
I think with all of the wine slushies, I'd live in our...
Well, I'll tell you, there's a lot to the grapes, and of course, Welch's was one of the big originators of it, but then they have bugged out to, they lived in Westfield for a million years, then they ran off to Concord.
Concord, Massachusetts.
Right, which is where they actually started the Concord grape, believe it or not. And then they began to process it there, Mr. Bull, and that's no bull, who wound up destitute after selling vines for $1,000 apiece in 1856. Can you believe it? I don't know, it's just a party boy, I guess.
I think next we'll move onto our patio.
Patio time. Ta-da!
Our patio, we were really lucky. Our president of the association, Helen Barron, gave a large amount of money as well, and this patio is dedicated to her husband, who just recently passed away.
Steve was a real champ. He was a great kid. He was terrific.
Yeah,
guy.
he was. And out here, you can, take a glass of wine. We offer different kind of artisanal cheeses, and you can really make a nice afternoon of it. I've had people that come with their picnic lunch and just kind of enjoy being out there.
You don't hassle them when they come in with a great big hamper full of food.
No, we're for the community, so I love having them.
What do you got there? What's that? Looks like a bunch of barrels.
Okay, now I think we're moving into the exhibit room. Of course, purpose of the Grape Discovery Center is to tell the story of our heritage. We have over 150 years of growing grapes in our area. In fact, we're such a unique area that New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historical Preservation designated us as a heritage area. This is one of the goals that we had, to seek heritage designation, and we are one of 20 New York State heritage areas. And each heritage area has a visitor center to tell a story, and that was the precedence was there to have state support for these heritage area visitor center. So when Senator Young helped to get some economic development money, there was precedent there for other heritage areas having a visitor center. And so we completed our visitor center exhibit area here early in September. We had the grand opening here on September 13th, and we're very pleased with the outcome of the exhibit room. We worked with a company in Pennsylvania that had professional experience, professional designers, graphic artists, storytellers that really helped us put together a very professional-looking exhibit room. And there are several themes that that we were trying to cover when the visitor comes in. One was that what makes this area special. So the geology, we go back to the Ice Age and the role it played in creating the Lake Plains and the geology of the area. So we have some exhibits that describe and educate about what makes the area unique.
Do you have Babe the Blue Ox there? He created
no,
the Great
but
Lakes.
one of the things that we do have is McClure Museum, the Chautauqua County Historical Society, has loaned us a dinosaur bone that is 9,200 years old, and it's of a hairy mammoth that used to roam the area back, after the Ice Age, 9,000 years ago or something like that. The bone is 9,200 years old, so it's a way of bringing in some of the history and geology, and that's one of the things that we are trying to do in the Heritage Area exhibit room. The next thing that we're trying to do is educate people about grape growing. It's surprising the questions we get. Last week somebody said, well, do the leaves fall off in the wintertime? Or how do you propagate grapes? Or how do you harvest grapes?
You can tell where the frost line is, too. If they turn brown, they're very susceptible to. I just got a caller who asked me a question, Andy, in reference to what you're talking about. How many acres of grapes are there here?
There's a little over 30,000 acres of grapes. That's one of the numbers that we like to tout. Between Erie, Pennsylvania and Chautauqua, New York, there's over 30,000.
Erie and Chautauqua, or Erie and...
Erie, PA. Erie, Pennsylvania, and Chautauqua, New York. There's over 30,000 acres of grapes.
Is that all the way up to
Silver Creek?
Silver Creek, and yes.
Okay.
All right. And what's interesting, and I like to mention this fact, here in Chautauqua County, we have more than 50% of all the grape acres of New York State. So yes, the Finger Lakes are great. Yes, the Hudson Valley and Long Island and Niagara Escarpment are great growing regions. They have fine wines. But when it comes to the acres and production of grapes, Chautauqua County has more than 50% of the grape acreage here in New York State.
That's
the other thing, when we combine,
Concord, right?
it's right, and when we combine what we have with the Lake Plain region, with Pennsylvania, we have 60% of the grape acreage in the whole state of New York and Pennsylvania in this two-county Lake Plain region. So we are a dominant area for growing the grapes in New York and Pennsylvania.
And of course, we're talking mostly about Concords.
Right.
There are wine grapes.
There are wine grapes. There are probably some 20, 30 varieties of wine grapes that are being produced, and we have 24 wineries in this two-county area, so we have a very nice wine trail or wineries to visit. It's concentrated. It's very easy to get to one winery from one winery to another. Mostly they're along Route 20 or just a short distance off Route 20. So you can go up and down Route 20, hit a number of wineries and experience the variety of wines that we produce here. Because it's not, unlike the Finger Lakes, which has some excellent wineries and excellent wines, but a lot of times you have to, go quite a distance from one winery to another one.
Pop, but make sure you have a designated driver.
Right, certainly. But it does bring in a lot of tourists to the area. They spend a lot of money at the wineries, and they stop and get information and visit us. And so bringing in tourists from outside the state brings in dollars from outside the state that get spent locally. That helps the economy. That helps other people's jobs. So that's part of what we're all about, is the economic support for the grape industry and for the communities.
Yeah, they changed recently the winery laws in the supermarkets too. They couldn't sell them. Now I guess they can sell local wines, can't they?
I don't want to go on record. I don't know exactly what the laws are or not.
I think I've seen them. Because anyway, wines rule in a very small way in this area, but you can sure bump into a bunch of them. As you say, and you just drive down Route 20 and stop, and sleep. Okay, we're talking with Andy Defresne and with Mackenzie. Cady. Mackenzie manages the Grape Center, which is a huge, beautiful place. And it tells the story from these, which are the ones that the white man found. These are Concords, little tiny things, when they called this Vinland, all the way up to these guys, which is what you see now hanging from the bunches. You've got a bunch out there right outside the center there. You got a little teeny weeny vine there, right?
Yeah, that's Nixon's vineyard, and what Andy did was he trimmed back some of the leaves so that when people come, they can actually see the grapes, because we were getting so many questions. Where are the grapes? Because they're so protected by the leaves.
Well, they hide under the leaves.
Yeah. So Andy trimmed some back, and our public is able to see the grapes from our patio.
Okay, Mrs. Nixon, that's Priscilla's sister-in-law. And she has a huge vineyard there.
Oh, yeah.
She raises a lot of whole bunch. What's her first name? I'm trying to.
Joanne.
Joanne Nixon.
Yeah,
Thank you.
she's
I've
a
known
great
her all my
lady.
life too.
Uh-huh.
I used to pick cherries in her vineyard.
Aw.
They had cherry trees over the side there.
Yeah,
And
she's
every kid around here made a pile picking fruit until they brought all those darn machines in. And now everybody, all the kids are unemployed in the winter, in the summer anyway, in the fall.
yeah, she's a great neighbor to have.
Yeah, she is. And I'll tell you, she has a lot of vineyard too.
One of the questions that a lot of tourists have is they're all curious about how the grapes are picked. And of course, part of the exhibit displays and so on, and talking about our heritage, shows how they used to be picked. And I think you, Reed, shared some experiences there of picking grapes by hand.
Well, one of the things I didn't mention is you'd get an old bicycle, and just the front part,
Right,
and
exactly.
you put the box
Right.
on that, and then you could wheel it around and fill your box, and you drop it or take it to the truck, and it was a labor-intensive business.
It was.
But, and you had those little snippers, the long pointed snippers.
Exactly. we have some of those on display, and for decades,
Yeah.
to think that the grape industry by the late 1800s, we had the acreage that we have today. So they were harvesting over 30,000 acres of grapes by hand every year, and people would come in from outside the area for the grape harvest. So we, in our exhibit room, we try to show some of the heritage that relate to the picking and early processing. But we also have a little video that shows a modern day grape harvester operating, because people are fascinated, and you explain to them they have this big machine that runs down the row. It actually straddles the row, and the operator sits above the row operating the machinery, and
has a big vacuum cleaner on it, right?
No,
it
it's
shakes
actually little fingers that hit
Yep.
hit the vine, and the grapes are ripe by this time, and it doesn't take too much shaking of those vines, and the grapes fall off, and they're actually caught at the bottom of the machine, fall into a revolving conveyor that takes them to the end of the machine, and into another conveyor that takes them up, and into another conveyor that takes them over and drops them into a little hauling wagon that typically we use 1-ton bins. And so there'll be another tractor in another row. They'll be driving along. They'll fill up 3 bins, 3 1-ton bins, and that little tractor will take off and go to the end of the field somewhere and put those on a big tractor trailer truck, and another guy will come in, and so it's quite a dance between the mechanical operator and the guy driving the little tractor with the bins on it to make sure you get the right bins filled, and using hand signals and so on
Especially
to
at
get that
Yeah.
crop to the market and process quickly.
It must be fun at night.
Oh,
I see the big lights on all night long.
Always at
the
night.
harvest is underway. It's 24 hours a day,
Yeah.
except for Sundays. And so you may see people picking at 10, 11 o'clock at night, like you said, with the lights on, the machinery going down through the vineyards to get their... the grape growers all have schedules of when they're supposed to deliver a truckload of grapes to the processing plant. So they pick the grapes a few hours ahead of time. They have their time slot, usually nailed down to 15-minute intervals of when they're supposed to deliver their load of grapes to the processing plant. And so it all works like clockwork, except when we get those heavy rains. That can mess things up.
Well, there's a lot more to the grapes, too, than just the picking. As a kid, I remember we made a good bunch. First of all, you had to trim them. The big vines get too long, and so you trim them, and you have to know where to trim them and leave the proper budding on them and everything.
Okay.
Then you had to pull the brush out, which was
Yeah.
all twisted into
Oh,
the fence.
certainly.
That was a horrible job.
Yeah.
And you pull the brush out.
Yeah.
Then you had to tie these canes back onto the wires.
Yep.
And it was a big you don't do that much anymore. I see great big machines come through, chop, chop, chop. They just chop everything up and away they go.
Yep.
Well, that's part of the mechanization that's been taking place. I mean, it was a big evolution when we went to mechanical harvesters in the 70s. Now what we're seeing is going to mechanical trimmers or pruners. So we have grape growers that are either having their vineyards trimmed by machines or assisted. A lot of them are using them as assistants. They go down through with a mechanical trimmer, and then they finish it off, requiring less hand labor, but using some hand labor to finesse it and finish it off. But, you know, agriculture, like other industries, is constantly changing, new technologies and so on, and that's true in the grape industry. And coming to the Grape Discovery Center, I think will give people not only an appreciation of the past, but what's going on today. We're trying to educate people about the grape industry.
Okay, got a couple of calls. Good morning, caller.
Morning, this is Linda Spalding.
Well, hello, Linda. Are you enjoying our program about the Concord grape?
Yes, I am. Oh, the grape smells so beautiful when you drive along. Now with the windows open, it's the most heavenly
these
fragrant
things
aroma.
do the job. Oh, do they do the job? Okay, so what's on your mind, Linda, today besides grapes? I know you love grapes.
Oh, I do. And I especially love fermented grapes. I just wanted to say that there are services with the Chautauqua County Office for the Aging, and we help people with skills to find jobs. We have job openings. We have businesses that we can refer people to. Excuse me, I just lost my voice.
You got a frog.
I've got a frog. And I just wanted to tell people that there are other services, and their phone number is 753-4471.
Okay, well, great. Thank you, Linda. And may you eat many grapes. Did you get my tip on how to eat them?
No, I didn't. Well, how do you eat them?
Are you watching? Are you watching?
Yes.
Okay, you take the grape and you squeeze it in your mouth, but you don't swallow the pulp, which is ugly, sour, and mean, and has a bunch of seeds in it. You spit that right out. I'll show you how to do it one time here, okay?
Okay.
I've been eating grapes as we've been talking. Watch this. Oh. Now see, you get all the sweetness and the juice and the goodness out of the skin, and you spit the pulp out and then drop the skin. Okay?
I see.
Don't eat the pulp. It's a waste of your life.
I see.
One of the things that our association worked on in the early days was really trying to educate people about the health benefits of grapes. We know that Concord grape is very healthy food, and it's a lot of studies shown how it helps the heart, blood circulation, and high in antioxidants and other properties. So one of the things we have tried to do is educate consumers about the health benefits of grapes, and it's a great food.
Okay.
It is a great food, and there's tannic acid, is that correct, in the red grape? That's very good for people.
What's it do for me? Tannic acid. It makes you look into it, right? I don't know. Well, thank you,
Well,
Linda.
have a great weekend.
Well, you too, Linda, and remember to get out there and eat and drink plenty of grapes.
Oh, I do. I love grapes.
Okay. We've got this sound that just came in, and we're out of here. They're throwing us off the air.
Oh, okay.
I want to give you each a little time, maybe 30 seconds. Go ahead, Andy.
Okay, well, I appreciate the opportunity to be here and to talk about the grape industry and the Grape Discovery Center. I hope you'll come up and visit us, learn more about the grape industry. It is a vital part of Chautauqua County, and there's a big attraction here for tourists from all over the country. Let's promote it. Let's promote Chautauqua County.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Mackenzie.
I just wanted to point out our location. We're located about a mile west of Westfield, and I really would urge you to come visit us. We're right across from Westfield Nursery and really easy to find with those 15-foot flags out front. And also to check out our Facebook. Andy is always posting new things that we're doing at the center, and that can keep you updated.
There you go. Thank you very much. Mackenzie, Cady, Andy Defresne, talking about grapes. I want to thank especially, last caller won't get in. You come back sometime maybe. We'll do it again. Chuck Kelsey, who incidentally started this programming back when, and I joined him shortly after. I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce of Chautauqua County for the Award of Excellence given to Channel 5 for our service to the public. Devin Taylor, quite involved, Chris Bird, Randy Bird, Chris Ramaker, Jeff Zook, Don Zenz, and John Hamels. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you very much. May all that is proud and true and noble abide with you. I'm Reed Powers.